we all have to be ready that our society is aging very fast. Number one. The second is the growth is so fast, it is almost double compared to general population growth. So the voluminous of elderly population coming is very high. The third is there is a very wide heterogeneity that exists among elderly population. What is observed state-wise, within states, across gender groups, class groups, and education status-wise. So the variation that is there compared to other age groups, in this age group 60 plus, it's a huge. So the heterogeneity is a major landmark among 60 plus. So one model, if we are talking, will become very simplistic. If you want to address all the elderly population in India, solution is not one unifying factor. We need, for example, what the problems exist in urban is entirely different from rural. What problems of elderly in the case of males, it is entirely different from females or the other segments of our gender. If you talk of organized sector, unorganized sector, there is a huge difference. So if we are talking of Government of India to have a separate department like that, again it will become simplistic, because aging is a very simplifying factor of putting that under 60 plus labeling is a very simplistic. So we need to open up the layers within 60 plus. When we are talking of infant within 1 year, we have a highly specialized stakeholders to take care of that group. We are having a children's for them separate. We are talking of adolescents, youth, working age group, and reproductive age group of women. But putting 40 years and labeling that as elderly becomes a very simplistic. So we have to take a call that the elderly we have to again segmentize, and we are at least there is a beginning that 60 above, again 80 plus we are talking. We are talking of female elderly problems versus male. So these are all things which we need to address. The second, Jenny, you can move on. So the issue is the aging is going to stay here. It is not 10 years or 5 years problem. It is going to be a permanent. We are aging, going ahead, and our elderly population is increasing day by day. We have to address these issues. Time is running out. The second is, if you talk of vulnerability, among different age groups, vulnerability is different, but the vulnerability among elderly is highly significant. One important thing which we need to understand, that when you talk of most of the developed countries, they are economically developed, and then only the aging came for them. Whereas in the countries like ours, we are, our aging is increasing day by day, but the socio-economic development is at a very low level, especially economic development. So vulnerability is very important, which we need to understand, and also we have to focus on these issues, whether we are talking of chronic poverty, unemployment, or unorganized sector where we are. So this segment is very essential. We need to address, otherwise it becomes a very piecemeal. There is no point in talking about children moving away, no point in talking about traditional family system, how elderly are used to be taken care of. We have to accept the situation that individualization is increasing, modernization is taking a load of this thing. Ultimately, the caregivers and caring of the elderly is becoming a huge problem. We are happy that we are starting in Tata Institute Diploma in Geriatric Care. We want to provide a cadre of caregivers, because that we have to reach it out. We are talking of 104 million elderly who are 60 plus now. They are going to become 135 within 2 decades. And what we are talking of today is another 3 decades we are going to surpass China's elderly. So in the entire world, 60 plus is going to be the number 1 in India. So this is the fact. So we need to address that, and pro-poor strategies are very much required. What we talk in cities have no relevance, because 70% of our elderly are in rural areas, and majority of them are not pensioners. They are not having any, social security schemes. So there is a very, very strong need, whether it is through separate department or commissionerate or ministry, all will become irrelevant unless there is a political commitment and, there is a realization that this segment of population requires immediate attention and time is running out. Next please. Everybody will know, I need not mention that it's a major, we have crossed 100 million. 100 million elderly is the entire country's population of Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and we are now 60 plus age group, we are just deliberating, and what is the percentage? Around 8.5%. With 105 million, we are talking of 8.5%. The question is how to take care of these people, because the old age dependency ratio is going to be increasing day by day, and the support ratio is also, phenomenally reducing. Yes, please. So this is the magnitude. So we are talking of, the group who are phenomenally increasing, and there are another important thing is aging among elderly is, increasing. It is not a surprise that more and more people are coming to 60 plus, but more and more people of 60 plus are increasing to 80 plus, 90 plus. So aging of the aged is increasing. Another important thing in Indian context is, as in the case of other countries, feminization of aging. Female elderly, their proportion is very high. And furthermore, if you look at 80 plus, there are, almost 2/3, 1/3 only males. So 2/3 are females. And what is it going to be? They are highly vulnerable. We have not provided them good education. We have not provided them good employment opportunities. Our social taboos and social cultural factors are so, have regressive factors for their socio-economic development. What we are talking of 60 age group women, they are now becoming highly vulnerable for any, needs. Whether it's a financial security, health security, abuse, all these things. Consistently, we have done a number of studies throughout country. We found that female elderly are the most vulnerable among the elderly group. So we need to address. We have conducted a 7-state study that has focused exclusively on those who are above national average, those states, and we found there are several dimensions of vulnerability. My submission is that BPL, for example, 45% are BPL households who are included in our survey, which are purely random. 1/3 their expenditure is below 1,000 rupees. 1/4 of households are in the low quintile wealth index, lowest in the in the income level, that range. 1/4, 25% of our elderly, when we surveyed, they don't have any assets. 2/5, around 40%, no personal income. More than 50%, they are financially depending on others, especially on the family. Are fully dependent. Partially is another segment. And then, when they are talking of care for them, 8% need assistance at least for one daily activity, and another 13% they have acute morbidity. 70% live with children, but 1/5 of them prefer government support for at least for old age pension. 6% living alone. Living alone, especially among the female, is increasing day by day. Please note down, it is not the aging which is vulnerable. We call it as multiple vulnerability. If 60 plus when you come, you are adding one vulnerability. If that elderly person is a female, second dimension of vulnerability. If that female is illiterate, third vulnerability. Fourth, if she is not earning, fourth. Imagine if that person is disabled. And if the sixth is if a person is living alone. So the characteristic of multiple vulnerability is a major hallmark of India's elderly. So my submission is, it is not the question of numbers. It's not the question of aging issues. There is a multiple vulnerability among our elderly population. It is not the question of only talking of 8% of this group. We are facing a multiple vulnerability. We are very happy India has a national policy on population for older people way back in 1999. We have a very good policy, and if you read policy, this 12-page policy document is very good. It covers everything under sky. But who is to do that? Who has to implement it? Nothing has been mentioned. There is no teeth for its implementation. It is only on a paper. Very unfortunate. And subsequently, there is a committee which has again given, and it's also kept in cold storage. We are not moved. So my submission is, on paper, we have several schemes. I am happy that State of Elderly, which LPG has brought out, has also pointed out some of these things. What happens is that, next slide, we have conducted a study. When we have conducted this, for example, old age pension scheme, we have asked the people, very important is that majority of them are aware about old age pension, but look at how many people are using it. Hardly 10 to 20% among our group. And this is a very state-wise variations we have captured, and there is a very, very significant differences that we notice across the states. Next. Similar is the case with regard to widowhood pension scheme. Widowhood pension scheme, majority of them are 70%, but only 20% are, among BPL households. Next. Very interesting is that 15% of above poverty line elderly are benefiting from old age pension scheme. Though this scheme is targeted only for BPL, 15% in our sample they are using, though they are from above poverty. What we want is that we need to fill this gap. Very high utilization, very less, very high awareness, very less utilization. So why? This, there are so many factors which we found out that it is one side it is vulnerability, the second side exploitation, a lot of procedural films which they have to fill. There are several attempts made by the people, but they have not completed the process, and there is no political will. So there are so many factors. I am very happy that Panchayat Pension Parishad is taking a lot of significant effort in this direction, and whatever we can do, I think we all will provide you. I think I will stop here, that there is a gap which we need to fill, and whatever this evidences that has come out from our study, we would like to disseminate, and we are very happy that December 4th and 5th, we call all the ministry officials. We call the ministry from Panchayat, ministry from Labour, ministry from Urban Development, ministry from Rural Development, ministry from Health and Family Welfare, Social Justice and Empowerment. We asked them, we presented this, and we said, what are you going to do for this? So let us work it out actionable points for it, and let's do it. Thank you for. I suggest that there can be translation.
Next 2-3 minutes.